Hello, my name is Lottie DL and today I'm going to talk to you all about composting. Now, for those who know me, they know that composting is one of the loves of my life, and by the end of this video I'm hoping that you'll fall in love with it just a little bit. So composting is a great way to help reduce the environmental impact that your household is having on the environment. So the average Australian household's bin is made up of 40% organic waste. What happens with this organic waste when it goes into your red bin is that it then goes to landfill and it sits next to odd pieces of plastic and meat and bones, and it creates a toxic methane gas. This gas is 28 times more potent than carbon dioxide, so it's just sitting there in a hole in the earth just oozing greenhouse gases. So if we can stop it from entering landfill, then we can be doing a huge bit to help the environment. So I'm here today with my compost bin. There are a couple of different options for people out there. This bin was donated to me by somebody who no longer needed a bin. They're about to move house. So it's a pretty standard size. You can see I'm sitting next to it. There are also smaller options and smaller bins out there. And you can also, if you live in an apartment or say you don't have a backyard, a great option is a Bokashi bin. So a Bokashi bin is probably about this big and it's an anaerobic composter, which means it doesn't need any air to start breaking down. So you get this, you can pop it into your laundry, into your garage, into your kitchen. It doesn't smell because, as I said, there's no air that goes in there. It's just an airtight container. You pop purely food scraps and waste into that, and then once it's actually finished and it's built up, then you can go and you can dig it into the ground, or you could find a friend who needs help. And this Bokashi substance is amazing for different gardens. So that's one option. The next option is, if you don't want to get a Bokashi bin, you could simply just start collecting your food scraps, pop them into a old ice cream container, or I don't know, some form of small Tupperware old container. You can either then put it in your freezer and then find somebody in your local area, a friend or family who has a compost bin, and donate it to them. There's a great app that you can download called Share Waste, which connects you with other people in your area who have compost bins like me and who are looking for extra food scraps. So it's a nice sharing community. And then the third way, if you want to get starting with composting, is to get your own bin like mine. So as I mentioned, I was given this bin by somebody who no longer needed it, but there's also a great website that you can go to called the Compost Revolution. The Compost Revolution have partnered with your local council and will actually subsidise the cost of your compost bin or even a worm farm as well. So we've got a compost bin and a worm farm. The compost bin I'm showing you today, but the worm farm I will do a video later on about. So in this compost bin you can pop so many different things. So I'm talking, you've got your fruit and vegetable scraps. Onions and citrus were on the no compost list for a very long time, but they've been given the all clear by Gardening Australia, so you can pop those on there as well. You can pop some coffee grounds on there. You can pop a lot of paper, so egg cartons, newspaper, toilet roll insides. Everything can also go in there. Then you can also pop in things like vacuum dust, and you can pop in dog hair, human hair, everything, tea bags, pop them all in there. So that's what we call our base layer, or what I like to call in my very official language, the green stuff. So we've got our green stuff in there, but we need to even it out because it's kind of like making a cake. We can't have just that the wet stuff, because then we're just going to have this big soggy, soppy mess. So we need to balance it out with some dry stuff. So the newspaper and the egg cartons and things like that, they go in the dry stuff section, but then we also need to add in things like dry leaves, and we could add in some kind of dust and dirt, pop it all in there. Weeds that don't have any seeds, pop it in there. We need to add probably about 2/3 dry stuff to 1/3 green stuff, just so we can create that nice cakey consistency. Then once a week, get your aerator. I've got this fancy looking corkscrew. You could also just use a shovel if you wanted to. And we just need to turn that waste. So this is because if you think about it, you're piling on top and on top and on top, but all of the stuff down here is breaking down. To speed up that process, if we can use this corkscrew to kind of turn it, To mix it just like you would a cake batter, we go to speed up that process. Composting is a hot process, so you'll find that in summer everything will break down a lot faster, and in winter it'll take a little bit longer. That's completely normal and not to worry about. So just keep turning it, or aerating it is the official term, once a week, and just grow and grow. And you'll notice some days you'll go, oh my gosh, my compost bin's also full, almost full. You give it a couple of days and it'll come right back down again, because that natural process is working. Eventually you'll get to the point where you've got this good juicy matter, organic matter, and then it's time to start using it, reaping the rewards for all of your hard work. So when it comes time, I turn this bin on its side and then I pull out all of that delicious organic goodness, and then I pop it around my garden. It's so good for regenerating soil and to as a natural fertilizer to your indoor and your outdoor plants. I'm trying to think if there's anything else. The other day we did have a couple of vermin, so I'm not sure exactly what it is. I don't know if they're rats or if they're possums. We are in Sydney, so it could be the latter. But what I've done to prevent this from happening is, you can probably see here, I've created a circle of coffee grounds all the way around the outside, so the smell really deters them. And then also I put some water in there to make it really, really wet. We're at the turn of the season at the moment, so these critters were probably just looking for a nice warm place with plenty of food, hello compost bin, to go and hide. But by making it wet and then putting this smell around, I've been able to deter them. So don't worry at all if that happens. If you do have any questions, please let me know. Send me an Instagram message or an email. My email address is lottie@banish.com.au, or comment below on this video.